Tip of the day is Gold Coast Race 2, number 10. That's the big tip of the day.
That was about 2 hours ago, but well done, Matthew, and gee, you look great together.
Mate, what's that one Danny Beasley's riding this over? They reckon that's top one.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Matthew John. Star.
I'm here for the food.
Back to you, Simon. A couple of gibberish.
Good on you, Bossy. He's had a lot of fun over the years with his street talk.
I don't think, as Jason Stevens said, he said, I'm here for the food. And looking at the size of him, that'd be pretty expensive.
Well, exactly. I tell you, he'd love to be on the street talk. It'd be Jimmy Cassidy if he can win the Epsom this afternoon. Here he is with Tim Sheridan.
Jim, for the second week in a row, you and Accelerator get a go at Defier. What do you think of this race?
Well, look, he's done everything right. He meets him better at the weights today. But in all fairness, I think Defier is still pretty well weighted. I think the race tactics are going to play a big part. I've drawn one, so I'm going to look to be somewhere just behind them today. He won't be as far back as he was from Defier the other day. So he's done nothing wrong this week.
More pace today, do you think, in the race?
Doesn't look to be a lot of speed. Maybe Phoenix Park from Gay's, one of Gay's runners, may go forward. I just hope it's a truly run race, and it'll certainly give me every opportunity anyway.
A genuine big Randwick mile, do you think, this one?
Yeah, look, it's a very, very good field today. There's a number of chances. I think if you went through it, you could probably, if it was run 10 times, you might get 10 different winners. I think luck and running is going to play a big part, and, you know, I wouldn't be swapping my bloke for anything. He's done really good.
Jimmy, thanks. Good luck.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Yes, luck and running will definitely play its part. Will Jimmy Cassidy have the luck? Who knows? We're going to find out this afternoon on the Wide World of Sports as we take a break from Royal Randwick. Back to Royal Randwick, and time for the second of our Group 1 races this afternoon, the Spring Champion Stakes. We're in the mounting yard. Let's take a look at them now, and number 1 is Recruiting, Kenny.
Yeah, Recruiting's a nice horse, and if he races up near the lead, the way those last few races have gone, if there's no speed, he could have a better chance than we originally thought. My original thinking was that he'd have trouble with the distance, but he looks well, and that just could make him a surprise packet.
Ronnie, Ken Greg Hickman have 2 big winners in the one day in Sportsman.
Oh, I wouldn't say he couldn't. He's another horse. He's very, very honest. He can roll forward a little. Just a little distance query on him as well.
Okay, number 3 is Klingerling, Kenny.
Yeah, Klingerling's trained on beautifully. Showed a lot of determination to run Recruiting down in the Spring Stakes at Newcastle, and one day at Rosehill they rode him forward.
The impressive winner in the gloaming was number 4, Masquerado. Can he do it again today, Ron?
Oh, I wouldn't say he couldn't. He's a lovely, lovely colt, this fellow. He's only lightly raced. He won the gloaming quite convincingly, although he did have a cold sit on Platinum Scissors there. Looks to have trained on beautifully. Lovely horse.
He certainly is a lovely horse. Takes your eye in the mounting yard, as does number 5, Takas.
Where he's drawn in barrier 11, I think Darren Beavan will probably go forward on him today, and that could make him a surprise packet. He missed the start badly with 3rd in the Spring Stakes at Newcastle. Like all John Hawke's horses, he's trained to peak at the time of the big races, which is today. Have a look at him. Doesn't he look well?
And I'll tell you what will look well too is number 6, Platinum Scissors. Good family, confident trainer, confident jockey, Ron.
Yeah, and he's really maturing up now, this horse. He's got a lot of raw talent. He made 2 runs in the race in the gloaming. I think that went against him. They're saying they're going to look for cover today. I'm not so sure that will be the right tactics in a race like this, but I still think he's good enough to pull through.
Well, the tactics are going to have to be right for a filly to beat the Colts in this Spring Champion Stakes. They give a good chance to number 12, Lavishly, Ken.
Yeah, she's right in the market. It's about 650 on the tote. She's only had the 3 starts, but she's kept getting better. 4th to Masquerado at Rosehill, and might look even a touch better today, Ronnie.
Yeah, she's still got a little bit of maturing to do. Another one of these lightly framed Sunday Silence fillies, but she's certainly above average.
Yes, she certainly is above average. Well, I wonder what's happening on the tote. Let's have a look at the totes for the Spring Champion Stakes. Ken?
Yeah, Recruiting is at $19. Sportsman solid at $11. Klingerling $7.10. Masquerado $5.40. $6.10 for Takas. Quite tip around for him. Platinum Scissors at $3.60. Addendum at $69. Monte Grand at $42. Over the page Civics at $40. Best Score at $144. Very, very rough. Soprano at $19 and Lavishly $6.60.
Yes, and fellas, tip-wise, what are you liking? It's a big race.
I've tipped Platinum Scissors. I just hope he gets a bit of speed on if he's going to go back in the field. 4 Masquerado second and 3 Klingeling third.
Oh, back on his home track. He's awfully hard to beat. 6 Platinum Scissors to beat Masquerado and Takas for third.
He's only had the 2 runs at Randwick Platinum Scissors. He won one comfortably and finished second to Long Row in the Chelmsford Stakes in the other one. Could any of these do that?
Well, we're about to find out. But down in Melbourne today, big Group 1 event, which is the Turnbull Stakes. It's just been run and won. Let's have a look at the closing stages.
Don Eduardo's coming with a rails run. Wider out Maguire. Here comes Magical Miss for the run, and then Helene Vitality. Northerly to leader at the 200. He leads by about a length here to Dash for Cash. Don Eduardo can't go on. Magical Miss is coming, and here's Fields of Omar sweeping down the outside. Northerly the leader from Dash for Cash. Fields of Omar. Northerly in front. Northerly holding on. You're a champion. Northerly beat Dash for Cash. Photo third. Fields of Omar. Helene Vitality and Pentastic.
Greg Miles said it all. He said Northerly was a champion. He certainly is, winning the Turnbull Stakes for 2002. Well, will a champion be unearthed in the Spring Champion Stakes? What do the punters think, Bossy?
Well, in the previous race, Simon, the money move was right for Gay Waterhouse and Manor Hill. And again, Gay Waterhouse takes the strong hand here with Platinum Scissors. Plenty of money for it. In fact, the biggest money of all over the last 5 minutes. Masquerado, outright second favourite for the race. Then you've got Klangelang and Takas. Lavishly has been very easy in betting. Big drifts over the last 10 or 15 minutes. Perhaps one to watch, though, another one of the Hawk stable in this. There has been good money for number 11, Soprana. If you like a little bit of value, perhaps Quinella with the favourite. Going into the Spring Champion Stakes, that's on the other side of this break on Epsom Day at Randwick on the Wide World of Sports.
Tappy, winner's a little hard to pick today.
Yep, Ian, harder to pick than a broken nose here today, but I'll tell you what, here's a horse to jot down in your little black book. A big, bold galloper by the name of By Jingoes. He's won a couple of races in the country recently, and last week he absolutely flew home to win at Rose Hill. He's beautifully bred too, By Jingoes. He's by golly out of By Crikey, and by gee, Ken, I think he's a real prospect.
By cripes, John, you're not wrong. I think he's a sensational prospect, this horse. He sailed home by 6 lengths on a slow track at Newcastle a few Saturdays back, and then showed a sizzling turn of speed to notch up his first city win last Wednesday when he beat Mr. Fixit and Sister Sally over 1,600 metres in the Summer Stakes at Rose Hill.
Ken, I think I might have to stop you there, old son. Otherwise, I reckon there's a good chance that our cameraman might drown.
OK, Johnny, suit yourself, old son.
Oh, Struve, how do you follow and act like that?
Yeah, it's bloody difficult, I can assure you. But I think you know you've made it, and Billy Birmingham takes the mickey out of you.
I didn't realise it was me who was taking off till you told me.
You still thought it was Ronnie, didn't you? Someone who I'm not going to take the mickey out of because he used to hit horses really hard is Greg Hall, and he's over there, these 3-year-olds at the 2,000 metre mark behind the barrier. What do you like, Gregory?
Big fella, Simeo. Well, I've got to say this, guys, as you know, sitting where you are, that the weather has cooled off a bit, and they won't want to run this race like the last two because there's only a head-on in the straight that's severe, but they're all getting help all the way around, including from the 2,000 round to the half, round to the 400 metre mark. So I don't think we'll be seeing much more of that, Ronald. But anyway, getting to these horses, because the weather's so good, it's a perfect day for racing today, especially for the horses. There's not one of them sweated up except the bottom weight lavishly, the filly. She's got a bit toey, and I thought Victory Vane was light on, but boy, this baby, she's very light on. But no, I can't complain about any of them. They're all relaxed, and they all look absolute treaties. So like I said, except for the bottom one, she looks a bit finicky. But other than that, boys, there's 3 or 4 left to go back to get in the barriers now, and I'm back to you guys.
OK, thank you, Greg. And there's the filly lavishly being pushed forward into the barrier. Ron, I think a few jockeys will be more on their toes here, and there's Klingeling going forward, and let's just hope it gets run to suit Platinum Scissors for all those people who have backed the Danehill colt.
Yeah, I just hope if they are going slow, Jimmy just does a little bit of initiative here. Just watch Takas in the barrier here. He's a colt, and he knows he's a colt, and he did play up badly at Newcastle, so a bit of heart in the mouth stuff just when he goes in the barrier here, if you're on him. Yeah,
Takas is the one in the All Cerise, looks almost pink. And at Newcastle, he missed the start about 3 lengths, and they ran along a bit faster there than they have in the last few races here today. and he never really got into it. Whether he would have won, of course, is open to debate, but it was quite a reasonable run. There's Addendum. Now, he's a horse with a future. I just think this is a bit rich for him, but he's a nice horse, Ron.
Yeah, he'll be better in the autumn, I think. He made up good ground in the gloaming. He's just not quite there yet.
No, he's one to put in your little black book and pull it out in 6 months, and you'll find he'll be paying his way. Alrighty, I think we've just got Takas to come forward. There's the starter, Billy Cooper, about to climb the steps of his small ladder. And here's Terry Bailey to call the Spring Champion Stakes Group 1.
Gates fly back and they're racing. Recruiting off the inside, fast out. Sportsman showing speed. Lavishly began well, and Masquerado won from the fence fast out. Here comes Beedman scorching across on Takas. Clangalang's gone up inside of him, so Beedman grabs hold. Improving best score, wide out Addendum, rushing around the field. They were followed by Civics, passed by Monte Grande, Soprano, and Cassidy's taken Platinum Scissors back to last. Heading down the back, and Clangalang in a surprise burst to the front. Roll clear by a length and a half. Sportsman recruiting on the fence third. Then best score Addendum going forward from Masquerado. He's caught 3 wide on Takas. He's sliding up to the girth of Masquerado and is now taking off around them as Addendum roll to the front. So a change of play. Addendum in charge. Takas at the 1250s moved up to go to second. Sportsman back to third. They were followed by Clangalang. He was the early leader and he's now box seating. 2 lengths best score recruiting the rail. 2 away Masquerado. Then came Monte Grande, Lavishly, Civics. Soprano and Platinum Scissors last, and must be a dozen off the speed, and that's Addendum. 1,000 metres out in the Spring Champion Stakes, halfway from home. Addendum leads up by a half on Takas. 3 away Sportsman, 2 lengths best score the Bolter. Outside of Clangalang, 2.5, 3 away recruiting. Masquerado starting to go forward. 2.5 Monte Grande, the little filly Lavishly next from Soprano. Then came Civics, and still last of all Platinum Scissors being given a little stir up to go forward. 600 metres out. Addendum just in front of Takas. 2 lengths away Sportsman. Clangalang's had the gun run the fence after leading early. Then best score recruiting coming out from Masquerado. Lavishly called upon for a run. Then Soprano, Monte Grande, Civics and Platinum Scissors still last. Over the rise at the 350, and Takas whooshed to the front. Leads the way by a length and a half, but the guns are coming with Masquerado. And wider out on the track, Soprano's coming with a run. Platinum Scissors getting through, and he is charging home. Here comes the big horse. Platinum Scissors going after Soprano. They'll fight it out with Platinum Scissors hitting the lead from Soprano, and that has been a great effort from last to first. He wins the Champion Stakes from Soprano. Photo third, probably Masquerado from Clangalang, Takas and Lavishly. They were followed by Sportsman, then Civics, Monte Grande, best score Addendum, and recruiting last.
Wow, what a ride. The punter's back. What a performance. From last to first, couldn't have gone around them, but threaded his way through the field in the straight. And number 6, Platinum Scissors, has paid $3 exactly and $1.50 the place. Number 11, Soprano, the filly, great run, $3.50. And number 4, Masquerado, has finished third and paid $1.90. What an exciting race it was, and if you're on Platinum Scissors, well, you should be thinking Jim Cassidy. He's second from the right in the yellow colours. On the extreme right is the filly who ran second, Soprano. Now Cassidy goes back to look for a run between horses. He gets a run here inside of Lavishly and outside of Masquerado, and here he comes, that old familiar pumping action. He's after Soprano, he's got her, and we're nearly home, and away goes the pumper, and it's another Group 1 win for Gay Waterhouse. Ronnie Dufficy, a great ride by Jay Cassidy.
Oh yeah, you thought you were in trouble coming to turn. He was off the bit and he wasn't chasing, but he got through here and it was all over.
Watch it again. He's second from the right now. Back to switch, about to switch back inside this great filly in the black and yellow colours. There he goes. He's out of screen now. That's actually Takas just gone to the front from Clangalang. Then Masquerado in the blue and yellow. Then you'll see Platinum Scissors head. Here he comes. And there's Jimmy Cassidy. Oh, he's confident. There's Soprano. A great run and a great Victoria Oaks trial, but a great Derby trial by the winner, Platinum Scissors.
No doubt about that. He'll go to Melbourne now and he'll be one of the leading. He looks a real stayer in the making, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's into the clear here, Ron. He's just here, third from the right, inside of Lavishly, and oh, by golly, it was a performance.
Yeah, well, it was lucky Masquerado sort of wanted to hang in there. Otherwise, it would have been a bit tight if he hung out.
He'd have run into a dead end and we'd have had another roughie, but there was no dead end. The pumper found the correct run, and the pumper is now with Greg Hall.
Yes, Jimmy. Yes, here we are. Ring-a-ding-ding, Pumper's the king, and he's done it again. Now look out in the next, guys, because he's Group 1, Jimmy.
Yeah, gee, it's nice to get back in that Group 1 circle again. It's been a little while between drinks, but he's a special colt, this mate, and we thought he had the potential, and now we go to Melbourne for the Derby, gee.
And fantastic effort, Jimmy. 89 Group 1s and plenty more to come, mate, because there's no stopping you, Pump.
Oh, other ones you've got to be winning, G, just like you. Good to see you back too, mate.
Good on you, buddy. Lovely to be back for the day. And tell me, the big race, Accelerator?
Yeah, look, he's going to be hard to beat, G. He drops some weight. He's going to get a nice run from the alley, so a little bit of luck will be right.
Good on you, Jim. Well done, and all the best. Back to you, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Greg. Jay Cassidy, Simon, looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, it certainly did. Patience. Everyone thought, I'm sure, as they turned for home, that trouble here. But Jimmy Cassidy, with a cool head, got him home. Talking of cool heads, here's Andrew Voss.
Yeah, I'm with Gai Waterhouse. He's walking along, taking in the crowd right at the moment. Gai, can I just ask you, a Group 1 at Randwick, last to first, does it get any better?
Doesn't get any better, and I'll tell you, we've put so much time and energy, and we're so proud of him, I can't tell you.
All right, I'll let you get on with what you have to do. Back to you, Simon.
Yes, well, we wanted Gai Waterhouse to be one of the personalities of the day, and here she is. Off she goes to greet Platinum Scissors and Jim Cassidy as they come back to scale, and he is a real Derby prospect, this bloke.
He sure is. He's a very, very good horse, and whereas his brother was brilliant, Ron, this fella's more of a stayer.
Yeah, we must tell people he is a full brother to Reed Each Choice, so he's got the pedigree, and being a Group 1 winner now, he's got a Stallion's pedigree.
Yeah, he got up to win by a short neck. It's not much, but it's enough to swear by, and it's enough to bring in the dollars when he goes to the stud in a few years' time.
There certainly will be, and we'll see him down in Melbourne in the next few weeks. He'll be down, I'm sure, competing in the Derby, if not the Norman Robinson prior, and then going into the Derby during Cup Week. Time for a break at Royal Randwick. The Epsom just around the corner.
I'm watching you.
There she is, Gai Waterhouse, a Group 3 and a Group 1 so far today. Can she make it a double Group 1 on Epsom Day here at Royal Randwick? Wonderful effort, good horse this. We're going to hear more of him. Platinum Scissors, he was the winner of the Spring Champion Stakes, and here are the totes.
Yeah, you certainly will hear a lot more of him, because that was only his 6th race start, and he paid $3 to win and $1.50 the place. Number 11 Soprano at $3.50, and number 4 Masquerado at $1.90, and there's the Quinella, the Exacta, and the trifecta dividends in the various stakes.
Well, the Epsom handicap is just around the corner, a few minutes away. Let's have a look at the early totes.
15 runners, 5 are trained by Gai Waterhouse and 5 are trained by John Hawkes. Shogun Lodge $11, Universal Prince $5.20, Defier $3.60, $14 for Crawl, Hey Pronto with $25, Accelerator $5.70, Gordo $10, Phoenix Park $26, Kingsgate $31, Irish Drover $63, Silent Century $93, Evander $26, Swiss Echo $29, Make Me a Miracle $174. Raymond was scratched this morning, and Zabara $14, and as you can see, that's with almost $640,000 in the pool.
Well, as you heard on the top of our coverage today, 46 years of Channel 9 covering racing is coming to an end, and 29 years, my old comrade here of covering racing is coming to an end.
Covering racing on Channel 9, oh, you haven't got me in the old man's home yet. I'll still be writing my column for the paper.
Well, you certainly will. We're not going to see a lot of him on telly. We've seen a hell of a lot of him over the years. It's been one hell of a contribution. Here's our thanks to Kenny Callender with Tim Sheridan.
As a lifelong punter, he'll always say you need some luck. But it was a feeling about an absolute certainty that began Kenny Callender's remarkable career.
The first moment I walked in the newspaper door, I knew that this was me. This is what I wanted to do, and like the excitement, the hum of the place, and I thought it was great. And pretty much the same at the racecourse. The first time I went on the racecourse, there was bookies everywhere, people running everywhere, colour.
Racing 40 years ago was big news, and good young reporters shadowed the headliners. Ken quickly learnt to write without fear, stick with facts, and be sure to entertain.
I think the 4-year cadetship you do as a newspaper, particularly in those days, was exceptionally thorough. And you carry that on to, you know, I carry that on today. Things I learnt then you still fall back on. But the entertaining factor, look, I used to like to think people are going to turn it off if you don't at least sound good. It's like telling a story in a bar. Like some drink with someone else if you're boring. Okay, I better go through the prices because the dogs are getting down behind the boxes. Right, we have got a few 66 to 1.
Forthright, correct and fun, but never boring.
A Pizza Hut stuffed Super Supreme.
4 decades on, Ken Callender is part of that same race day atmosphere that intoxicated him as a youth. A Billy Birmingham enshrined sporting icon.
By cripes, John, you're not wrong. I think he's a sensational prospect, this horse.
When he came out, my kids were sort of in the age range about 10 to 15, and all of them knew the Billy Birmingham tape off by heart, you know.
Did they really? All your boys?
All the boys knew how to say 66 to 1 and Sunshine Sally.
Ken's career on this network began 30 years ago. Luck played no part beyond a place on a list of hopefuls.
He sat down at the set, he looked at the camera and just launched into a spiel with such confidence and poise that all of us, you know, on the set that day, the floor crew, the director, everybody in the control room was stunned. I doubt there has ever been a more confident audition in Australian television history. He was just a natural.
But I thought, you know, this is a chance, this is what I want to do, so, you know, it's like you got to aim up and had to go, and thank God they kept employing me.
Righto, that's all at the moment from the racing section on the World of Sport.
The Callender role expanded with Nine's commitment to racing. When Wide World of Sports began to go trackside, Ken and his tote board were an act in themselves. Viewers could identify with the ever-cheerful character who backed his own tips.
Did you find it tough sometimes to raise a smile to camera after you'd had a big loss?
Oh, yeah, a couple of times. Oh, gee whiz, yeah. I can remember I was on a horse called Jericho Lad at Rose Hill one day many years ago, and he got beaten the very last bound, and John Tapp said, "It's a photo, Ken." He said, "Down to you." He said, "I don't know what's won this." I said, "John, I do."
Whether talking through his kick or pushing the cause of common sense, you'll know where Ken Callender stands.
But the people who go racing pay their money, and they don't want a flash-looking jockey coming down the outside and telling them that when every other jockey tells them it's no good.
I'm employed to give an honest opinion. And I think the best analogy is if you had a theatre critic and he said every movie that he saw was terrific, who'd take any notice of him? Whereas I think if I'm honest and say that that was a bad ride, this was a good ride, at least, you know, people will accept that opinion, so at least he's saying as it is. And I always feel I don't owe anything to the administrators or whatever, but I can tell you a few jockeys get a bit touchy when you criticise them.
But Diatribe is clear. Diatribe in front of Pravda. Diatribe.
Jim Cassidy has been on the end of a few Callender sprays, so to speak. Like them or not, he says, you have to respect the man.
Whether it's myself or Darren Beedman, Corey Brown or whoever, he's the first one to praise jockeys. And even maybe when he hasn't backed the right one, he'll still be critical. And look, we need people like Kenny Callender in racing. It makes jockeys lift their game when you know you've ridden a bad one. I've copped plenty from Ken, but I've had broad shoulders. I've been able to rise above it and still come out and punch winners home, and that's what it's all about.
And how many female jockeys still talk to you?
Probably Vernie Cooper. I think she's a good rider, the queen of the present crop. And Robin Freeman, she's a young apprentice now, but I've had a go at a few of them over the years. Linda Jones, she's still a friend of mine. She was one of the original female jockeys, but I criticised a couple of them at times.
Ken Callender!
For a get square, all those angry jockeys only had to look at Ken's cameo acting efforts.
Did you take the numbers 8, 32, 4, 9, 6 and 69 in the superfecta?
Yes, I did.
Awful as they were, there was a very real message for everyone in the public eye.
Well, if you can't laugh at yourself, I don't think, not only in broadcasting, I think in life, you haven't got much hope. You know, if you take yourself too seriously, someone else won't, and you're in for a fall.
Well, I'm a lucky man.
He is skilled at writing, broadcasting and punting, and has worked equally hard at all three.
Like, I'm lucky, I've got videos and computers and things that give me shortcuts. But you ask the average punter in the pub, Tim, and you'd be surprised how much he knows about racing. You know, they're pretty keen. But the people who just go in there and, you know, throw their money about, they've got to lose.
He's lived on his wits and done well. Ken Callender has 35 years of marriage, 4 grown sons, and much to do beyond Channel 9's exit from racing. His Daily Telegraph columns will continue to reflect his philosophy, to be accurate, honest, and entertaining.
I think Channel 9 do sports broadcasting better than anybody else, and if Channel 9 are giving it away, I think it's time that I did. I'd rather go out on top. I'd rather not be an old bloke hanging on looking for extra jobs somewhere, and I've enjoyed it all. It's been sensational.
Accurate, more than honest, and entertaining. I don't think there's 3 better words that could describe you.
Thank you very much. I think that whole thing was very kind to me, and I'm glad they didn't have a go at me acting. I wouldn't have made a quid in Hollywood.
Well, no one will be having a go at you. A man that's given plenty to horse racing and still will with his column in the Daily Telegraph. But you won't see his smiling face on the 9 network anymore, which is going to be a pity for all of us. Epsom Handicap just around the corner.
How do you back a winner? Let me show you a few ways. The late mail. When you're out at the track, it's not a bad idea to keep your ears and eyes open. You never know when you're going to pick up a tip. And you never know where.
Trainers told me number 2 in the next is a certainty.
By the stars.
Now, what do I need something to... thank you very much. Getting a horse now. It is called Paleface Adios. Paleface Adios will win for you.
Terrific. Yeah, thanks, mate.
That's quite all right. Come again. Sucker. Next.
The birdcage. Another popular method among punters is the birdcage. All you need is a bird, a cage, and a form guide. Simply fold the guide, slip it into the cage, and wait for the bird to do its stuff. As you can see, sometimes the bird's tip isn't specific. But I think I've found another way that might just make me rich at the races.
Yes, Bossy. Well, he's done his hard-earned, hasn't he, at times?
He's a good bloke and he has got a sense of humour.
Well, he is a good bloke. Let's go out and see what's happening on the Epsom, and he can probably explain himself of what we've just seen.
Simon, I think the sad thing about that story is the truth of it is that real punters are far worse. You've only got to speak to any number of Channel 9 employees, the likes of, from the sports director down, Gary Burns, that they're far worse than that story indicated. Punters are desperate, let's face it. And right now I can tell you, the mail was right from the ring on the previous race, and right now they're saying Gai Waterhouse can win back-to-back